Have you ever felt like your marriage has shifted as the years have gone by? Maybe the spark isn't as bright as it once was, or the connection you once had feels a little distant. It's completely normal. As we age, life throws so many changes at us. Health, family dynamics, retirement, and even just the challenges of getting older. But here's the good news. Keeping your marriage strong is absolutely possible, no matter how many years you've been together. In this video, we're diving into 4 powerful ways to keep your marriage strong as you both grow older. These aren't just surface-level tips. They're habits and mindsets that can truly transform your relationship. From building deeper emotional intimacy to rediscovering the little things that brought you together in the first place. Each one is designed to help you and your partner thrive together through every stage of life. Stay with me until the end, because the 5th way might just change the way you view your relationship forever. And if you find this video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Turn on notifications so you won't miss future videos, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Share which tip resonates with you the most. Now let's dive in. Way number 1. Prioritize quality time together. Life has a funny way of keeping us busy, doesn't it? Even in retirement or as the kids grow up and move out, the distractions don't stop. There's always something demanding our attention. Household chores, grandkids, health appointments, or even just the day-to-day routines that can feel like a never-ending loop. Amid all of this, it's easy for couples to drift into a pattern of living parallel lives rather than truly sharing life together. But one of the most powerful ways to keep your marriage strong is by prioritizing quality time with each other. This might sound simple, but let's really unpack what it means and why it's so crucial as you both get older. Why quality time matters more than ever when you're first married. Spending time together feels natural. You're still discovering each other, building memories, and figuring out life as a team. Over time, though, that intentional connection can take a back seat to other responsibilities. By the time you've spent decades together, the need for intentional quality time becomes even greater. Why? Because as you age, the external markers of your life, like work or raising kids, start to fade into the background. What's left is the core of your relationship. And if that core isn't nurtured, it can feel like you're more roommates than soulmates. Spending quality time together doesn't just help you stay connected. It reminds you both why you fell in love in the first place. It strengthens your emotional bond and creates a sense of security, reminding you that no matter what life throws your way, you're still a team. Making time for each other in practical ways. So how do you prioritize quality time when life seems to keep pulling you in different directions? Here are some practical ideas. Establish regular us time. This could be a weekly date night, a morning coffee ritual, or an evening walk around the neighborhood. The activity itself doesn't matter as much as the intention behind it. Unplug from technology. In today's world, screens can be one of the biggest barriers to meaningful connection. Make it a point to put away your phones, turn off the TV, and truly focus on each other during your time together. Try new activities together. Novelty has a way of reigniting excitement in a relationship. Whether it's picking up a new hobby, traveling to a new destination, or even taking a cooking class, trying something new together can bring fresh energy to your connection. Revisit old traditions. Think back to the things you used to enjoy together, but might have let slip over the years. Did you have a favorite date spot, a shared interest, or even just a silly inside joke? Bringing these back into your life can remind you both of the good times you've shared. The little moments count. Not every moment of quality time needs to be a grand gesture. In fact, some of the most meaningful connections happen in the small, everyday moments. A heartfelt conversation over dinner, holding hands while watching TV, or simply sitting in comfortable silence together. All of these add up to a stronger, more connected marriage. And here's something to think about. Prioritizing quality time isn't just about what you do. It's about how you show up. Are you fully present when you're with your partner? Are you listening with curiosity and empathy? Are you making them feel seen and valued? When you approach your time together with intention, even the simplest moments can become deeply meaningful. The ripple effect on your relationship when you prioritize quality time, something magical happens. Other aspects of your relationship start to improve as well. Communication becomes easier because you're spending more time truly understanding each other. Physical intimacy often increases because you're fostering emotional closeness. And those little annoyances or conflicts, they start to feel less significant when your bond is strong. At the end of the day, quality time is about creating space for love to flourish. It's about saying, "You matter to me. Our relationship matters to me." So, take a look at your life right now. Are you making enough time for each other? If not, what small changes can you make to prioritize your connection? It's never too late to start, and the rewards are well worth it. And with that, we're just getting started. In the next section, we'll dive into another key way to keep your marriage strong as you grow older. Something that's just as important as quality time, but often gets overlooked. Stay with me, because you don't want to miss it. Way number 2. Communicate with compassion and clarity. We've all heard it a million times. Communication is the foundation of a strong relationship. And while that's true, the way you communicate matters just as much as the act of communicating itself. When you've been married for decades, it's easy to assume that you and your partner already know each other inside and out. You might think, "I don't need to explain how I feel, they already know." Or perhaps, "We've been together so long, we don't even need to talk as much anymore." But here's the thing. No matter how long you've been married, effective communication is the glue that holds your connection together. Without it, misunderstandings can fester, resentment can build, and even the strongest bonds can weaken over time. The key is to approach your conversations with both compassion and clarity, especially as you navigate the unique challenges of growing older together. Let's break this down into some powerful strategies you can use to strengthen the way you communicate with your spouse. Why compassion matters in communication as we age. Life can bring new stressors into the relationship. Health concerns, financial changes, family dynamics, or even just the natural process of slowing down. These challenges can make tempers shorter, patience thinner, and misunderstandings more frequent. That's why compassion is so important. Communicating with compassion means approaching every conversation with kindness and empathy, even when you're frustrated or upset. It's about remembering that your partner is human too, with their own feelings, fears, and struggles. When you make the effort to show compassion, you're creating a safe space for open and honest dialogue, free of judgment or blame. Practical ways to practice compassion: pause before reacting. When your partner says something that frustrates you, take a moment to pause before responding. Ask yourself, what might they be feeling right now? How can I respond in a way that shows I care? Use gentle language. The words you choose can make a big difference. Instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try, "I feel unheard when we don't talk about this." Gentle language helps prevent defensiveness and keeps the conversation productive. Acknowledge their feelings. Even if you don't fully understand or agree with your partner's perspective, acknowledging their feelings shows that you respect them. Phrases like, "I can see why you'd feel that way," or "That sounds really difficult," can go a long way. Clarity. Saying what you mean and meaning what you say. While compassion is about how you say things, clarity is about what you say. As we get older, it's easy to fall into communication habits that rely on assumptions or vague statements. For example, you might say, "I wish you'd help out more around the house," without specifying what you actually need. Or you might avoid bringing up a sensitive topic altogether, hoping your partner will just get it. But clear communication leaves no room for confusion or misinterpretation. It ensures that both of you are on the same page and working toward the same goals. How to communicate with clarity: be specific. Instead of making general statements like, "You never help me," try saying, "It would mean a lot if you could take care of the dishes tonight." Specific requests make it easier for your partner to understand what you need. Check for understanding. After sharing your thoughts, ask your partner to reflect back what they heard. For example, "I want to make sure we're on the same page. Can you tell me how you see this?" This prevents miscommunication and ensures clarity. Address issues directly. Avoid beating around the bush or dropping hints. If something is bothering you, bring it up in a calm and respectful way. For example, "I've been feeling a little distant lately. Can we talk about what's going on?" The power of active listening. Communication isn't just about talking. It's also about listening. And not just any kind of listening, active listening. This means giving your partner your full attention, really hearing what they're saying, and responding thoughtfully. Active listening shows your partner that their thoughts and feelings matter to you. It creates a sense of mutual respect and fosters a deeper emotional connection. How to practice active listening: put away distractions. When your partner is speaking, put down your phone, turn off the TV, and give them your undivided attention. Reflect back what you hear. For example, if your partner says, "I've been feeling stressed about our finances," you might respond, "It sounds like you're worried about how we're managing money. Can you tell me more?" Ask open-ended questions. Encourage your partner to share more by asking questions like, "How do you feel about that?" Or, "What can we do to make this better?" Navigating difficult conversations: not all conversations will be easy. As you both grow older, you might face tough topics like health issues, financial planning, or even the fear of losing one another. These conversations require a delicate balance of compassion, clarity, and patience. When navigating difficult conversations, choose the right time and place. Avoid bringing up sensitive topics when emotions are high or distractions are present. Stay focused on the issue. Avoid bringing up past grievances or unrelated topics. Reassure your partner. Let them know that you're having this conversation because you care about them and want to work together. How compassionate communication strengthens your marriage: when you and your partner communicate with both compassion and clarity, you're building a relationship based on trust, understanding, and mutual respect. You're creating a safe space where both of you feel valued and heard, even during disagreements. And here's the best part: good communication doesn't just solve problems, it deepens your connection. It reminds you both that you're in this together, as a team, no matter what challenges life may bring. So, the next time you're having a conversation with your spouse, ask yourself, am I speaking with compassion? Am I being clear about my thoughts and feelings? Am I truly listening to what they have to say? These small shifts in the way you communicate can have a huge impact on the strength of your marriage. Way number 3. Keep the spark alive by embracing new adventures together. One of the most beautiful things about a long-lasting marriage is the deep sense of familiarity and comfort you share with your partner. You know their quirks, their favorite meals, and even the way they snore at night. But while that familiarity is a treasure, it can sometimes lead to one of the most common pitfalls in long-term relationships: monotony. The truth is, no matter how much love you share, doing the same things day in and day out can slowly dull the spark in your relationship. That's why it's so important to actively nurture a sense of adventure and excitement as you both grow older. And no, this doesn't mean you need to book skydiving lessons or move to a tropical island. Though hey, if that sounds appealing, why not? Keeping the spark alive can be as simple as stepping out of your routine and finding joy in new experiences together. Let's explore why embracing new adventures is so important and how it can bring you closer than ever. Why trying new things matters more than ever as we age. We tend to settle into routines that feel safe and predictable. There's comfort in knowing what to expect from each day, but there's also a risk of becoming stagnant. When we stop exploring new things, we inadvertently stop growing, not just as individuals, but also as a couple. Think back to the early days of your relationship. Chances are you were constantly trying new things together. Whether it was discovering a favorite restaurant, going on spontaneous road trips, or even just learning about each other's interests. Those shared experiences were a huge part of what made your bond so strong. New adventures ignite that same sense of excitement and curiosity, reminding you both of why you fell in love in the first place. They also help you create fresh memories to cherish, rather than relying solely on nostalgia. How to find adventure in the everyday: you don't have to climb Mount Everest or sail around the world to embrace adventure, unless you want to, of course. Sometimes, the best adventures are the ones you find right in your own backyard, or even your own living room. Here are some ideas to inspire you. Take a class together. Learning something new as a couple is a fantastic way to bond. Whether it's cooking, painting, dancing, or even yoga, trying a new activity can bring out a playful side you may not have seen in each other for years. Explore your local area. How well do you really know your town or city? Take a day to play tourist and visit landmarks, museums, or nature trails you've never explored before. Switch up your date nights. Instead of sticking to the same old dinner and a movie routine, get creative. Try a picnic in the park, a game night at home, or even a themed dinner where you cook cuisine from a country you've always wanted to visit. Plan mini adventures. You don't have to commit to a full-blown vacation to enjoy an adventure. A weekend getaway to a nearby town or a day trip to the countryside can be just as exciting. The role of spontaneity in keeping the spark alive, one of the easiest ways to add a sense of adventure to your marriage is to embrace spontaneity. Over time, it's easy to fall into the habit of planning everything down to the last detail, but sometimes the best moments are the ones that happen on a whim. Imagine waking up one morning and saying, "Let's do something completely out of the ordinary today." Maybe it's a drive to watch the sunrise, a surprise breakfast date, or even just a walk in a part of town you've never visited. The act of breaking your routine, even in small ways, can bring a sense of excitement and fun back into your relationship. Rediscovering each other through shared adventures, new experiences don't just add excitement to your marriage. They also give you an opportunity to see each other in a new light. When you step out of your comfort zone together, you might discover qualities in your partner that you'd forgotten about or never noticed before. For example, trying a new activity like hiking or kayaking might reveal a playful, adventurous side of your spouse that you haven't seen since your younger years. Or tackling a challenging project together, like renovating a room or starting a garden, might remind you of how well you work as a team. These moments of rediscovery are incredibly powerful. They remind you that even after decades together, there's still so much to learn and appreciate about each other. Keeping the spark alive doesn't have to be perfect. One of the biggest misconceptions about keeping the spark alive is that it requires grand, Instagram-worthy gestures. But here's the truth. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about showing up for each other with an open mind and a willingness to try. Yes, some of your adventures might not go as planned. You might burn the dinner you were so excited to cook together, or get lost on the way to a new hiking trail. But those imperfect moments often end up being the ones you laugh about the most. What matters is that you're creating memories together. Memories that remind you of the love, laughter, and partnership that have carried you through the years. How adventure strengthens emotional intimacy beyond the fun and excitement. Embracing new adventures has a deeper impact on your relationship. It strengthens your emotional intimacy by fostering trust, vulnerability, and connection. When you try something new together, you're stepping into the unknown as a team. You're relying on each other for support, encouragement, and maybe even a little bravery. This shared sense of vulnerability creates a bond that's hard to replicate in your everyday routine. For example, imagine trying a dance class for the first time. You might feel awkward or self-conscious at first, but laughing through the missteps and celebrating small victories together can be incredibly bonding. A few words of encouragement if the idea of stepping out of your routine feels daunting. Remember this: it's never too late to embrace adventure. Whether you've been married for 30 years or 50, there's always room for growth, discovery, and fun in your relationship. Start small and let your shared experiences build over time. Before you know it, you'll have a treasure trove of new memories to look back on, each one a reminder of the love and joy you share. So, what will your next adventure be? Whatever it is, make it one that brings you closer together and reminds you of the incredible journey you've been on as a couple. Way number 4, master the art of communication. Because words matter more than ever, if there's one skill that can truly make or break a marriage over time, it's communication. Now, you might be thinking, after decades together, we've talked about everything under the sun. But here's the thing. Communication in marriage isn't just about talking. It's about connecting. It's about listening, understanding, and finding ways to express yourself that strengthen your bond instead of pulling you apart. As you and your spouse grow older, communication becomes even more critical. Life circumstances change, health concerns, retirement, grandchildren, shifting priorities, and those changes require open, honest conversations. But many couples fall into the trap of assuming they know what the other person is thinking or feeling, simply because they've been together for so long. This assumption can lead to misunderstandings, frustration, and even emotional distance. Let's dive into how you can elevate your communication game and ensure that your words, actions, and even your silence work in harmony to keep your marriage strong. Why communication changes over time. When you first got married, communication probably came easily. You were still learning about each other, so every conversation felt fresh and exciting. But as the years went on, routines took over. You might have started having the same conversations over and over, discussing what's for dinner, planning the week ahead, or talking about the kids. While those everyday chats are important, they can sometimes overshadow the deeper, more meaningful conversations that keep you emotionally connected. As you age, the dynamics of your communication may shift even further. You might find yourselves talking less because you assume you already know each other's thoughts. Or, on the flip side, you might find yourselves arguing more because small frustrations have built up over the years. These are natural challenges, but they're also opportunities to grow together. The power of listening. Really listening, one of the most overlooked aspects of communication is listening. And no, I'm not just talking about nodding your head while your spouse talks or waiting for your turn to speak. Real listening is an active process. It involves giving your full attention, setting aside distractions, and genuinely trying to understand what the other person is saying, both with their words and their body language. Here's how you can become a better listener. Put down the phone. In today's digital age, it's all too easy to half-listen while scrolling through your phone or watching TV. Make it a point to give your spouse your undivided attention during important conversations. Ask questions. Don't just assume you understand what your spouse means. Ask clarifying questions to show that you're engaged and to ensure that you're on the same page. Validate their feelings. Even if you don't agree with what your spouse is saying, acknowledge their feelings. A simple, "I understand why you feel that way," can go a long way in making them feel heard and respected. Finding the right words while listening is crucial. The way you express yourself is just as important. Words have power. They can heal or hurt, build up or tear down. As you navigate the challenges of growing older together, it's essential to choose your words carefully and communicate with kindness and respect. Here are some tips for speaking in a way that strengthens your bond. Use I statements. Instead of saying things like, "You never help around the house," try saying, "I feel overwhelmed when I don't have help with the housework." This shifts the focus away from blame and encourages collaboration. Avoid assumptions. Don't assume you know what your spouse is thinking or feeling. Instead of saying, "I know you're upset because of X," ask them how they're feeling and let them explain in their own words. Be specific. Vague complaints or criticisms can lead to misunderstandings. If something is bothering you, be specific about what it is and what you'd like to change. Focus on solutions. Rather than dwelling on problems, try to approach conversations with a solution-oriented mindset. For example, instead of arguing about how often you see your grandchildren, brainstorm a schedule that works for both of you. Navigating difficult conversations, let's face it, some topics are harder to talk about than others. Whether it's finances, health issues, or conflicts with family members, difficult conversations can test even the strongest marriages. But avoiding these discussions can lead to resentment and misunderstandings. Here's how to tackle tough topics with grace. Pick the right time. Timing is everything. Avoid bringing up sensitive issues when you're both tired, stressed, or distracted. Instead, choose a moment when you're both calm and focused. Stay calm. It's easy to let emotions take over during difficult conversations, but losing your temper will only escalate the situation. Take deep breaths, stay calm, and focus on finding a solution rather than winning the argument. Revisit the conversation if needed. Sometimes it's okay to take a break and come back to a discussion later. If emotions are running high, give yourselves time to cool off and revisit the topic when you're both in a better headspace. Nonverbal communication. The silent connection. Did you know that much of your communication happens without words? Your tone of voice, facial expressions, body language, and even the way you touch your spouse all convey messages, sometimes more powerfully than your words ever could. For example, a gentle touch on the arm, a warm smile, or a reassuring hug can speak volumes about your love and support. On the flip side, rolling your eyes, crossing your arms, or using a harsh tone can create distance and tension. Pay attention to your nonverbal cues and make sure they align with the love and respect you feel for your spouse. Small gestures, like holding hands while watching TV or giving a spontaneous kiss on the cheek, can reinforce your emotional connection in ways that words can't. The role of laughter in communication. Let's not forget one of the most important aspects of communication: laughter. Sharing a sense of humor can lighten even the heaviest of conversations and remind you both not to take life, or each other, too seriously. Whether it's reminiscing about funny moments from your past, sharing a joke, or laughing at the absurdities of aging, humor can create a sense of intimacy and joy that strengthens your bond. Communication is a lifelong journey, no matter how long you've been married. There's always room to improve your communication. It's a skill that evolves over time, just like your relationship. The key is to stay curious, stay compassionate, and never stop trying to connect with your spouse on a deeper level. When you prioritize communication, you're not just solving problems or exchanging information. You're reinforcing the foundation of love, trust, and respect that has carried you through the years. And that foundation is what will keep your marriage strong as you continue to grow older together.